So what's your opinion of the Salone this year?
Well, day one, and it feels like day 5.
Yep.
So usual sort
Which
of
is an
thing.
improvement
Is
from
it?
last year, yeah, because it felt like day 14 at this point.
Actually, I think the worst day is the first day, because they always try and cram everything in. And you just run about like an idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's always fun, you know.
Yeah. Somebody, Demetrio just said that you were the, oh no, Benjamin just said you were the rock stars of the show. Is there any truth in this? What do you think?
You can't believe your own price.
You can't believe
It's
your
all
own-
over.
You can't be very
But
inclined.
I've never heard that. They tell us that. But I think they're just trying to flatter us, sort of try and get us to stay on the stand a bit longer.
Yeah, right.
Could be. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it does work. Flattery gets people everywhere, really, with us. But no, I mean, you know, it's great. It's nice to be. Well, I tell you what is really genuinely nice was to walk onto set here to do this, and for people to be so nice about the chair. Because it's really, you know, you put a lot of effort into projects, and you hope that they're going to be well received, and you hope that people are going to, you know, love them and buy them and live with them. But you never know. It's always a gamble. And so to have a nice response, I'm not sure about being pop stars or rock stars or whatever, but producing nice work is our objective. So it's nice to get the, you know, approval.
Let's talk about the pieces that you've released for Knoll. You've released the pilot chair, which was released a few years ago. Are you happy with that?
It's been received very well. It's funny because it's really only been available in Europe, primarily. And Knoll is obviously a huge company, but very, up until the last few years, very America-focused. So really, Knoll has had a sort of has had a new life, a regeneration within Europe. And I think the pilot chair is one of those products that's helped it have bring a new life in Europe. And yeah, it's done quite well, and sales are growing. And what's interesting now for us is that it's just being launched in America, which is obviously a huge market. And we wait to see, honestly, how that pans out.
Yeah.
But the signs are good.
It's been really interesting though, because as Ed said, you know, Knoll Europe is basically it's a company that's growing again from its kind of starting point in the mid-century. And American Knoll has always been incredibly powerful, very you know, I guess kind of office focused. And so it's a big change for the company to focus more on this type of product development.
Yeah.
And I think the pilot chair has only recently been optimized for production in the States, so, as Ed said, so we'll see. But we're really happy with it. And also the way it was developed was really interesting for us, because we had the opportunity to work with some of the most amazing people in not far from here, actually, just north of Milan. People who have lifetime experience in furniture production, and introduced us to some new making methods for this chair. So this chair is really interestingly constructed. It has a die-cast aluminium frame with steel elements. One of the steel elements that supports the seat is actually some incredible, super strong steel from Switzerland, and that fixes into the aluminium structure. And then in the back, we have 2 more steel supports with then flexible sprung steel elements in it, which gives the back this really amazing flexibility. Essentially, everything is just slotted together.
So what you see underneath the seat, this sort of suspension arm, is a T shape. So you've got the central spigot that goes into the base, and it comes out into a T. And that's really that is the chair. So from that T, everything gets joined on. So you have the metal supports, and the back slides on. You have the seat that slides on, and then the arms bolt onto it. So it's really, when you take away the upholstery, you're left with the most skeletal and simple framework.
I imagine that's part of the premise of this particular chair, is that you can do it with arms, with metal arms, with upholstered arms,
With it, yeah.
without arms.
You can do that, or have it with no arms. So you have a lot of flexibility there. But the other thing, part of the reason that we developed it in such a way that all these panels come off is that when you're shipping large quantities, obviously you ship a whole chair, it's incredibly expensive. A lot of chairs you can take the base off, but you're still stuck with this big thing. You slide all these off and you can basically almost flat pack the whole chair. So that reduces a lot of space in storage, warehousing and shipping.
So did that fact come into play when you were designing the
Yeah,
chair,
yeah,
or
absolutely.
You discovered that?
No,
It's part of the criteria.
Absolutely part of it,
And
yeah.
so often, you know, when you're working on a project, those constraints are the things that help you in the design process. because they actually start to kind of really focus your attention on particular problems rather than it just being an open-ended thing, design a chair. So actually to have those things, within the process we whilst we're working is helpful.
Yeah.
And it's great to just work with those people and for us to learn about new materials and new ways of construction. We're collaborators, and we've learned to collaborate because that's how Ed and I have worked. We're like, since we've been at college, our process has been collaborative.
Yeah.
Our collaborative process is not introverted, it's actually inclusive. And so people get drawn into it, we draw people in, and they become part of the team, and this kind of collaborative thing is it's slightly infectious. And so companies and organizations are attracted to it too, because it's kind of a weird creative thing that's happening. And it just brings out the best in the people that we work with.